The Widowmaker is, in my eyes, a great weapon that's really underused in my opinion. On one side, the gun can basically be a direct upgrade to the stock shotgun, but at the same time, on the other side, the gun can basically just be useless. Why is that? Well, let's find out. The Widowmaker doesn't really have its own stats, as it's basically just a stock shotgun. Same damage, same firing speed, literally everything is identical to the stock shotgun in every way, apart from one aspect. The Widowmaker, like the short circuit, uses up your metal as its ammo supply, so it's pretty easy to run out of ammo quickly if your aim isn't as precise. Every time you shoot the weapon, the gun takes up 30 metal for each shot, but it also has a mechanic where if you hit someone, you get the metal back, but this depends on how much damage you deal. If you don't hit all your shots, you can only shoot the Widowmaker 6 times before you need to get more ammo, but if you do hit your shots, you can fire the weapon for as long as you like, as it doesn't reload. It's basically just continuous. Another thing, you can deal 10% more damage to someone if they're being shot at by a sentry, so it's actually quite useful to have your sentry gun nearby. When you have the Eureka effect equipped with a Widowmaker, you get less metal back per shot. This is because the Eureka effect has the mechanic where you get less metal back from pickups, so if I were you, I'd avoid using the Widowmaker with the Eureka effect, unless you have a large source of metal, like a payload cart. According to the wiki page for the Widowmaker, sometimes the amount of metal gained by a shot will be slightly less than the damage value displayed. This is just a rounding. Since aim.exe is not pre-packaged into most engineer mains, it can be quite easy to choke a shot and be left with no metal, and in return, no primary. Your only other option for firepower is your secondary, since pulling out your melee weapon isn't really a good idea. When using the Widowmaker, it's wise to have a pistol equipped, since the short circuit also uses your metal count up when you fire the weapon, especially when you use the projectile ball, and the Wrangler can't do any damage if you don't have a sentry gun up. You can use the Wrangler or the short circuit with the Widowmaker, but it would make more sense if you have the pistol equipped, as it's a really good secondary damage dealer when you can't fire your primary weapon. For your melee weapon, I would recommend using the Gunslinger as it doesn't cost as much to build a sentry gun, and you'll get a bit more health as well, so that's pretty useful. But in honesty, any wrench works just as good. Now that we've gone over the stats, let's actually review this thing. Personally, I love this weapon. It's actually my favourite weapon in the engineer's arsenal, just beating out the stock wrench. The Widowmaker is so satisfying to use when you hit all your shots, and it can feel really powerful, especially when you have crits. If you're good enough, you can wipe out a bunch of the enemy team with just this weapon. On most occasions, I see this weapon as just a direct upgrade to the stock shotgun, but I personally can see how this weapon can be useless to some other people. I love how this weapon is also a great way to better your aim. My aim has actually improved a lot while using this weapon, and I cannot thank it enough. Now onto the big question, would I change anything about the Widowmaker if I could? Well, no, not at all. The Widowmaker is basically just a reskin of stock, apart from the fact that it uses metal as its ammo supply, and it should stay that way. I'm not really good at ending videos, so roll the outro I guess. Oh yeah, subscribe. Cheers.